Well, hello, good afternoon everybody. Welcome back. Jiujitsu2000 here today. I'm back, and today I have an interesting video for you. Today I have another offering from Sofirn flashlights. This is model SP33. I'm very excited about this flashlight because right here in the video you can see 4 different flashlights to the right of this one, and all 4 of these run on the 18650 battery platform. These are all Sofirn lights. But this one runs on the very popular 26650 battery, which is higher performance, higher run times, and things of that nature. It's very well packaged, as always. Sofirn. It says Sofirn is registered in 2010, which specialize in outdoor lights and tools, chargers and batteries, such as budget, high-quality flashlights, bike lights, camping lanterns. Sofirn flashlights are being sold worldwide, especially in America, Australia, Europe, and Russia, South Korea, and Japan, concentrating on innovation and in-house development, manufacturer, and customer-oriented service. Sofirn LED flashlights are widely used in household lighting, everyday carry, EDC, outdoorsy activities, industry, security, law enforcement, and military, etc. The pursuit is to light your entire world in front of you by manufacturing budget, high-quality products and providing excellent customer service. So there is what I just read. And right here is the information if you would wish to contact Sofirn. Again, model SP33. So let's go ahead and open this package and take a look. I'm very curious to see what's included. I'm very, very excited about this review. I want to say thank you right off the bat for Sofirn for sending this out for review. So there's what we have in there. There's nothing left in the package, so we'll set that aside. So the first thing that we see here is the owner's manual, and this is the newer version of SP33. They had an older version. I did not review that one, but from what I understand, this one, they've made significant changes in this flashlight. This is 2500 lumens max output, and I'll talk about this a little bit more here in a second. If you're happy, you read the corresponding side right here, and it tells you some information if you're happy, and then if you're not happy, you flip that over and you read the corresponding side to the not happy side of the card, and it basically gives you contact information where you can get in touch with Sofirn in case you had something that you weren't happy about. So right here you can see that there is a lanyard, and there's a couple of O-rings included. So you got 2 O-rings. It's hard to get them in that little bag there. 2 O-rings and a lanyard for your flashlight. Now this lanyard comes with very nice cordage. I particularly don't generally use lanyards on my lights, but it does give you an option if you are going to be running or something like that and you don't want to drop your flashlight. This is definitely a good option to have. The next thing that you're going to see is the micro USB charging cable. So you got a micro USB charging port there, and it has USB 2 on the other side of the port. So you can plug that into your wall outlet, your battery bank, your vehicle, your solar panel, anything like that, and charge your flashlight. That will plug into this, which is your battery charger. So your micro USB goes right there into that port, and then you have a light. It'll be red when the battery's charging, and it'll turn green when it's finished charging. You can see that it's a spring-loaded charger, and on the back here it gives a description of the amount of batteries that this will charge, and it's pretty significant. I have to put it at a certain angle to read it. So it says here 26 650s, 18 650s, 16 340s, 14 500s, and 10 440s. So right there on the left. So it's a pretty versatile battery charger. And the next thing that we see in this package is this tube here, and a lot of people are wondering about that. I'll talk about that in a minute, and that also has to do with these 4 flashlights. because this flashlight not only will run on the included 26650 battery, but you can also run it using that tube right there. You can run this flashlight with 18650 batteries. So it's pretty cool. Very versatile light. So here's a first look at the light. That is such a beautiful light. Again, this is model SP33 by Sofirn. Now if you look down in there at that LED, you'll see that that LED has 4 parts to it. It's one light, but it's got 4 parts. It's a very nice light. You can see here where you can connect your lanyard. Everything is knurled very well. You have a battery indicator on the switch. Everything is operated by this switch alone. And you can see the cooling vents here. They also give you a nice stainless steel bezel, a glass lens. This is just a very well put together flashlight, and it also tells you hot right here. Again, this thing gets up to 2500 lumens. So when I open this, I will find a couple of things. Let me set that tail cap down. You'll find this insulative film. Okay, they include this from the factory because they don't want the flashlight to turn on during shipping or on during in your pack. So they put that on there to prevent the potential for the flashlight to not turn on. Therefore, there's no heat created. Remember, it says right here that this flashlight will get hot. Just a beautiful flashlight. The way it looks is really nice. Let's take a closer look at the battery tube there. You can see a nice spring in there. And also on the battery tube, you'll see right here there's that beautiful O-ring, and that's how they get the IPX8 waterproof rating on this flashlight. There's one of those O-rings on each side of the battery tube, and it includes a 5500 milliamp hour 26650 rechargeable lithium ion 3.7 volt battery. That was a mouthful. Beautiful battery. This is going to be a long run time. You can see that it's clearly indicated negative and over here positive, so that's pretty cool. It's kind of a flat top 26650. Okay, you can also use a standard aftermarket 26650, something like this. No particular brand punted here, but this is the button top, so that's the positive. It's got a positive top there. You can use either of these, so you can use the flat tops or the button tops, and they'll work just fine. But you really don't need to do anything because, again, the flashlight does come with the battery included. Not to reiterate too much, but there's that O-ring there, and then you also have another one under here. And this battery tube, I believe, is reversible. No real need to do that though, because there's no pocket clip on this light. It's a heavy duty light. Now the reason that you see the 4 18650 flashlights in this video is because, like I mentioned earlier, this flashlight will operate using the 26650 battery or with this adapter, the 18650 style batteries. So the 18650s are a little bit smaller and they have smaller amp hour ratings. This one happens to be a 2200 milliamp hour rated battery. Here is one that's going to operate at 2800 milliamp hours. And then of course you have one here that operates at 3000 milliamp hours. And these are all 18650s. So this flashlight will use those batteries as well as the 26650 that's included, and like I mentioned earlier, these aftermarket ones too. When you come to your manual here, you're going to see the chart of run times, and you're going to see 2 columns. You're going to see an 18650 column of runtime right here, and then right below it you're going to see the 26650 runtime column. Now when you're referring to the 18650 column, that testing was done using a battery that was 3500 milliamp hours, so it was a little bit capacity than even this one here. So just keep that in mind. So this flashlight has 6 modes of operation. It's got a strobe, and that's 2500 lumens. Then it's got economy, of 15 lumens. And if you're on an 18650, you'll get 91 hours of runtime. And if you're on a 26650, you'll get 111 hours of runtime. Then you can go up to low, which is 150 lumens, 12 hours and 42 minutes on that 18650, and 16 hours and 37 minutes on the 26650. Then you can go up to 400 lumens, medium, 3 hours and 54 minutes, so just shy of 4 hours, or 4 hours and 55 minutes, just shy of 5 hours. So that's a pretty good setting, and those are very good run times actually. Then you can go up to high, which is 1000 lumens for an hour and 40 minutes or an hour and 17 minutes. Now that's where it gets kind of confusing, because the 18650 actually outperforms the 26650 in that category, which is kind of crazy. I don't understand how that's happening. And then you go up to turbo, 2500 lumens for 36 minutes on the 18650, but if you're on the 26650, you're operating for 52 minutes. Now the beam of throw, the distance is 217 meters on turbo, 139 meters on high, 90 meters on medium, and 53 meters on low, and 21 meters of throw on economy. The candela rating when you're operating this flashlight on turbo mode is 11,760. This flashlight is impact resistant down to 1 meter or 3.28 feet. And again, it's IPX8 down to 2 meters. So this flashlight will operate underwater. Now the interface is very simple. If I want to get to economy, okay, I'm going to push and hold the button, just like that. That's economy. That's the lowest setting. And then if I turn it off and just push it and turn it on, I go to low and then push and hold, medium, high, low, medium, high. And then if I want turbo, I'll double click. And then if I want strobe, I'll double click again. Oops, there's turbo. And there's strobe. And then again, if I just push and hold, it'll cycle through low, medium, and high. So whatever setting I end on, like in low in our case, if I turn the light off, it'll have a memory to remember the last setting that was accessed before I turned it off, low, medium, or high. So if I turn it on, there's low. Let me go up to medium, turn it off, turn it back on, it'll go to medium. And then if I go up to high and I turn it off, I turn it back on, it goes to high. There's one more function that I really like about this flashlight. That's the lockout mode. So I'm going to push very quickly 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. It blinks twice to acknowledge that I put it into lockout mode. So if I'm throwing this in my pack and the button gets pressed or anything like that, this flashlight's not turning on. See that? It's not doing nothing because it's in lockout mode. Now to unlock it from lockout mode, I just press 4 times very quickly again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you see 1, 2, 3, it acknowledges that it's unlocked. Then I can turn it off and on just as normal. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Turbo, strobe. Let's turn this flashlight on and take a look at the power indicator. So it says right here, the LED indicator on the side switch displays green for 5 seconds if the remaining battery power is good. If the indicator is red, the battery power is poor. Red flashing indicates extremely low power. Replace or recharge battery as soon as possible. This flashlight also has reverse polarity protection in case you were to install the battery in the wrong way. It also has low voltage or high voltage protection. And it says strobe can cause seizure in people with photosensitive epilepsy. This flashlight runs on a Cree XHP50.2 LED. So you got the flat top positive one. So we're going to use the aftermarket here. Put it in. And the reason I'm showing this is because sometimes it's nice to have an extra battery if you needed a secondary battery. So let's push and hold. There's economy. Turn it off. On. I think that's high. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Now let's double click. There's turbo. There's strobe. And then I usually go back to low so that when I turn it off, it'll memorize low, even though I can use economy or low. But I use economy quite a bit, and you can see even on economy that it has the power indicator. So that's pretty cool. This is a very nice flashlight. I really like it. I think it's going to be a solid performer. I think it's going to do great things, and 2500 lumens is really no joke. And let's try a different 18650. Let's try this 3000 milliamp hour one. Okay, so we got another one here. And the springs, everything's real tight here in this light, so I don't have to worry about the battery being loose in there or anything like that. So let's try economy here. We're going to push and hold. There we go. Let's turn it off. Power indicator works. Let's turn it on. There's low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Let's double click for strobe here, or excuse me, for turbo. There's turbo. Let's double click for strobe. There we go. Let's go back to low and off. So it's a very, very nice flashlight. A lot of versatility on this flashlight. Okay, we've already discovered that if we click this button twice quickly, we'll go to turbo. From turbo, if we click it once, we'll go back, it'll return back to our last mode that we were accessed on. And that includes economy. So I'll show you that real quick. Let's push and hold and we'll go to economy. Now if I double click quickly, we go to turbo. And then if I click once, we go back down to what we were on. Okay, let me show that one more time. Double click, there's turbo. One click, goes right back to the last setting, whether it's low, medium, high, or economy. Now we also understand that if we are on turbo mode, we can double click quickly from turbo mode and that'll take us into strobe mode. Okay, once we're in strobe mode, if we double click again, it'll go from strobe mode back to turbo. And then from turbo we can single click and it'll go back to the last mode that we were using. Okay, so from strobe we have two options. Double click and we'll go back to turbo, or single click and we'll go back to the last mode accessed. Okay, so let me show you that again. So let's go to turbo. There's turbo. Now we'll double click again. We're going to go to strobe. Now if we double click again, we're going to go down to turbo. And then if we single click, we go down to economy. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing, but now instead of double clicking and going back to turbo from strobe, I'm going to single click from strobe and go back to economy. So let's go to turbo with a double click. Let's go to strobe with a double click. Now from here, a single click puts us back to economy. And again, not to reiterate, but you can go from economy, low, medium, or high, and it'll come back to whatever setting you were on with this technique. This is the section of the video that I never look forward to doing. I'm going to go ahead and test the impact resistance of this flashlight. So I'm going to turn it on economy here. Oh, there's economy. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to drop it from about hip high straight down onto concrete. Bezel first. Let's drop it with the tail cap first. Nothing so far, and I'll drop it straight down here. See what happens there, and let's go one more bezel down. See what happens. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look and see if we have any damage here. I don't see any significant damage, and the flashlight's still on. I don't see nothing too bad. And that was some pretty good drops. So nothing too crazy. Now let's go ahead and see if the flashlight still functions. So I'm going to push and hold for economy. There's economy. Let's push and turn off. Let's push and turn on. Let's cycle through the modes. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. And let's try turbo. There's turbo, and let's try strobe. There's strobe. Now let's turn it off and let's lock it out. There's the acknowledgement, so the flashlight is now locked out. See that? It's telling you, nope, we're locked out. So to unlock it, again, it's 4 presses. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't do it fast enough. There we go. We got the acknowledgement. Low, medium, high, turbo. So it appears that everything is working good after this impact test. It's a good flashlight. I like it. Let's take it inside and get it wet. Let's go swimming. Let's turn it on. Let's get it down to low. Low. Let's go underwater. That's completely underwater. I'm not seeing any issues. Let's take it out. Let's cycle through. Low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Let's try turbo. There's turbo. Let's try strobe. I gotta go to turbo here. Strobe. Ooh, that is so disorienting. Let's go back to low and let's turn it off. Go to economy. Get it wet. That's completely underwater. So it looks like it survived the impact test outside as well as the water test inside. So I'm going to start with economy, which is 15 lumens. With the 26650 battery, it'll last for 111 hours, which is 4.62 days. So here in front you can kind of see like a tarp. You can see a little bit of the carport over there. And if I turn it off, I can go to low, which is 150 lumens. So let's do that. So there's low, 150 lumens for 16 hours and 37 minutes. So that's pretty good. I can see quite a bit there. And then if I turn it up to medium, we're going to bump up to 400 lumens. Again, on this setting, it'll last 4 hours and 55 minutes. You can clearly see what's going on here. And then if I go up to high, it's going to bump it up to 1000 lumens. And it lasts an hour and 17 minutes. So that's pretty good runtime for 1000 lumens. And then if I double click, we'll go up to turbo. Again, there's turbo, 2500 lumens for 2 minutes, and then it'll scale itself down to 1000 lumens or high to reduce temperatures. Okay, so on this turbo setting, it lasts for 52 minutes. Okay, here we are on economy now, and if we were running an 18650 battery, we would last for 91 hours on this setting. Again, it's 15 lumens. And 91 hours is approximately 3.79 days. So if I turn it off and I go to low, let's go to low there. Low again is 150 lumens, and on an 18650 it's going to last 12 hours and 42 minutes. If I go up to medium, we're 400 lumens, and on an 18650 we're talking about 3 hours and 54 minutes of runtime. That's just short of 4 hours. That's pretty good. And then, of course, if I go up to high, again, on an 18650, we're talking about an hour and 40 minutes. And then last but not least, let's go up to turbo. There's turbo, 2500 lumens for 2 minutes. Then it scales down to high, which is going to be 1000 lumens. But on an 18650 battery, we can expect this to run for 36 minutes. But that is a lot of light. This light is very impressive. So we can scroll through the modes again. There's low, medium, high, low, medium, high, turbo. Now strobe warning for you guys out there. Let's try a strobe warning. There's the strobe. It goes fast and then it goes slow. and it goes fast. And again, if I double click from strobe, it'll take me back to turbo. If I single click, it'll go back to the last setting that I was using. Let's double click. There we go, we're right back to turbo. Now let's go down to a different setting. Let's go down to low, for example. Let's get down to low. Now let's go to turbo. Let's go to strobe, and then let's do that single click. See that? It brought us right back to low. So it's pretty cool. So from turbo, again, if you double click, you go to strobe. If you single click, you go to the last mode that you were on before turbo. And from strobe, again, if you double click, you're going to go back to turbo. If you single click, you're going to go back to the last mode that you were using. I know that can be a little bit confusing, but after using the flashlight for a little bit of time, it gets pretty easy. So there's a look at turbo again, and if I single click from here, we're going to go back to low. So that's where we were. Again, if I go to turbo and then strobe, I'll do that single click and we'll come back to this setting. So let's take a look at that. Double click here. Let's go to turbo. Now let's double click again and we'll go to strobe. And now a single click from here is going to take us back to low. See that? So it works pretty good. If I double click from there, it would have brought me back to turbo. So this light, a lot of bang for the buck. You know, they're asking 40 bucks for this light. That's a lot of light for the money. I really like this light. So folks, I want to say thank you for joining me today on this video of the Sofirn model SP33. Again, this is the newer version. I really like this flashlight. I love the 26650 battery platform, the runtime, the power. I mean, if you compare that to an 18650, it's a huge difference. You know, your milliamp hour ratings, the amount of power that you get out of those batteries, I really think that this is going to be a solid performer. If you were curious about any of these other flashlights that you saw in this video, this is model SC31. This is an 18650. This is model SP31 version 2. That's an 18650. This is model SP32A version 2. And this is model SF36. If you're curious about any of these, I'll put links in the description box down below where I did reviews on these flashlights. I want to say thank you to Sofirn for sending this out for review. Please check the description box down below because I'll put links if you're interested where you can find this for purchase. The price point that Sofirn is currently looking at on this flashlight is around 40 bucks. And I'll be honest with you, on 26650 platform flashlights, 40 bucks is about almost half price of what you could get one for. So this is a very solid budget option for the 26650 platform. I mean, and it includes a battery because a lot of those flashlights that are 26650s, a lot of them don't even come with a battery and they're still $70 or $80. I hope you got some good useful information. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.